Dominik Mysterio.
Nobody talks to mommy like that.
It is astonishing how often I hear former wrestling fans have returned to WWE because of Dominik Mysterio and Rhea Ripley. There appears to be a real appetite for younger, talented wrestlers in the zeitgeist that hasn't been satisfied until 2023. Fundamentally, Dom is around the same age as many returning wrestling fans, and they want to see him succeed. People want to boo Dominik Mysterio, not because they hate him, but because he's doing a fantastic job. And why is he doing a great job? Why would booing equate to success? Because Dom has transformed himself into the ultimate bad guy, playing the essential heelish role in WWE. Like in every creative cinematic universe, the good needs to be contrasted by the bad. Without a villain to act as the foil for the hero, there can be no hero. There can be no story. Let's dive headfirst into Dominik Mysterio's Dirty Dom character to see if we can find a truth about villainy and how it functions. The slimeball archetype. In professional wrestling, the slimeball character is a well-established archetype. They are typically wrestlers who rely on underhanded tactics, garnering heat from the audience. They cheat, they lie, they manipulate, and they revel in the audience's disapproval. Think of wrestlers like Ric Flair, or even the classic iteration of Eddie Guerrero. Dominik Mysterio is not powerful in the way traditional villains are portrayed. He's cowering and sniveling. He's archetypally not the world ender, evil genius, or evil king. He's the slimeball. Less Imhotep and more Benny. Less Voldemort and more Peter Pettigrew. This dude from Pirates of the Caribbean. And the funniest part is this. He's dating the hottest girl in town. Instead of Dom, as the slimeball receiving comeuppance, he appears to have been rewarded. So his villainy grows. The man who deserves nothing gets everything, and the boos reign in. Rhea Ripley being so dominant and domineering, it's hard to view her on-screen relationship with Dom without the lens of some strange fetish going on. I think this adds a wrinkle to Dom's character. There's great humor and innuendo in he and Rhea's relationship, which more mature audiences understand and appreciate. Let's dissect Dominik's character traits even further. First, there's the constant rule-breaking. He disregards authority figures, using weapons and resorting to dirty pins to secure victories. Second, there's the manipulation. He expertly plays on his father's emotions, using guilt and obligation to get what he wants. Third, there's the arrogance. His newfound confidence borders on narcissism, reveling in his newfound dominance over his legendary father. Dom's slimeball character hits harder for the fans that understand he's a wholesome young man in real life, simply living out his dreams of being a professional wrestler, like his father. Dom recently married his high school sweetheart. Despite what some insane fans out there think, Dom and Rhea indeed are not actually romantically involved, but they are great friends. Their friendship is also very wholesome, and Dom engages in regular fan meetings. The beauty of being a nice person in real life is that Dom's on-screen heel persona is magnified. The vast majority of fans understand that all wrestlers are acting, and Dom's acting is done extremely well. The slimeball character serves a purpose beyond entertainment. They challenge our sense of right and wrong. They blur the lines between hero and villain, making professional wrestling more morally complex. Dominik's character arc embodies this perfectly. We're invested in his success, yet disgusted by his tactics. This moral dissonance keeps us hooked. Dominik Mysterio's transformation into a slimeball character has been a masterclass in storytelling. He embodies the core traits of the archetype, the rule breaker, the manipulator, the arrogant antagonist. His complex relationship with his father and the ambiguity surrounding his motives make him a truly captivating character. Whether he's headed for redemption or further villainy, one thing's for sure. Dominik Mysterio's journey is far from over. Symbiotic relationship with Rhea Ripley. Initially, the pairing of Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio presented an intriguing juxtaposition. Ripley, a well-established powerhouse, and Mysterio, a rising underdog, formed an unexpected yet captivating alliance. Their undeniable on-screen chemistry fueled their victories, creating a dominant presence on Monday Night Raw. We can recall their brutal assault on Edge as a prime example of the Judgment Day's formidable teamwork. This unlikely couple quickly became a focal point, garnering significant fan investment in their narrative arc. Let's explore Rhea and Dom's relationship through the lens of symbiosis, a mutually beneficial relationship. Think of Clownfish and Anemone from Finding Nemo as an example of symbiosis. In professional wrestling, tag teams and factions often exemplify a symbiotic relationship. Wrestlers with distinct skill sets come together, their strengths complementing each other's weaknesses, creating a more formidable unit. Think of the legendary Heart Foundation or the dominant Evolution stable. But Ripley and Mysterio's dynamic goes beyond just tag team synergy. Let's rewind. Dominik's betrayal of his father, Rey Mysterio, to join the Judgment Day was a shocking moment. Rhea Ripley, already established as a dominant force, took Dominik under her wing. Initially, it appeared to be a one-sided mentorship. Rhea provided guidance and protection, while Dominik seemed to benefit from her experience. However, their partnership quickly evolved. Dominik's resentment towards his father fueled his determination, mirroring Rhea's own rebellious streak. They discovered a shared ambition, a desire to break free from the constraints placed upon them and carve their own path. This shared purpose became the foundation of their symbiotic bond. Let's break down the specifics of their symbiosis. Rhea's brute strength and veteran presence provide much-needed protection for the less physically imposing Dominik. In return, Dominik's youthful agility complements Rhea's power-based defense. More importantly, they provide emotional support for each other. Rhea mentors and encourages Dominik, while his unwavering loyalty bolsters her confidence. The brilliance of their partnership lies in its blurring of lines. Is it a mentor-student relationship? A power couple? The ambiguity keeps the audience guessing. Their social media interactions further fuel speculation, showcasing a level of camaraderie that transcends kayfabe. The question remains, how long will this symbiosis last? Will their shared ambition hold, or will their individual goals lead to a clash? Will Dominik fully embrace the darkness, or will Rhea's influence steer him towards a path of redemption? The possibilities are endless, making their alliance one of the most compelling narratives in WWE. Family lineage. Let this section act as a background on Dominik Mysterio. Dom is the real-life son of the legendary Rey Mysterio, but he is also Eddie Guerrero's illegitimate son in kayfabe, which stems from a very strange storyline from nearly 20 years ago. That storyline brought a 7-year-old Dominik onto the show for Rey and Eddie to fight over. This culminated in a ladder match for Dominik Mysterio's custody in SummerSlam 2005, just before Eddie would tragically pass away. In that storyline, Rey was the babyface and Eddie was the heel. Dominik debuted as a wrestler in WWE in 2020, as a babyface tag team partner with his father, Rey. However, Dominik was not very good in the ring when he first started, and fans felt he was nothing more than a nepo baby. Which means he only got this job because he is Rey's son. That was probably true. Early promos featured Dominik clutching Rey's championship titles, a tangible symbol of the immense pressure and expectation he felt. However, this association presented a significant challenge. Dominik risked being perceived merely as a derivative of Rey, lacking the individuality and grit that would establish him as his own man. Through a feud with the Judgment Day, Dom was tempted to join the dark side by Rhea Ripley. From then on, they started an on-screen fictional romance that marked their symbiotic rise in WWE. Dom grew out the Guerrero mullet, dropped the weird Power Ranger outfit he wore with his father, and donned the black and purple, symbolizing his heel turn. Dominik began to shed the eager child persona. He displayed a newfound edge, a willingness to resort to underhanded tactics to secure victories. This shift sparked discussions about nature versus nurture. Was Dominik embracing the darker aspects of the wrestling business, a ruthlessness often needed to survive? Or was a rebellious streak simmering beneath the surface all along, a defiance against the image everyone tried to mold him into? This moral ambiguity added depth to his character. It forced audiences to question his motivations and redefine their perceptions of Dominik Mysterio. What's fascinating about Dom's family lineage is that, through Rey, he is part of a true wrestling dynasty. Dom is technically a third-generation wrestler. His great-uncle Rey Mysterio Sr. was a legendary lucha libre, and his father is a WWE Hall of Famer. But, through a storyline set in motion 20 years ago, Dom is also essentially part of the Guerrero family, turning on Rey and declaring himself, even if just in spirit, the son of Eddie, gives Dominik a second lineage. Booing Dom is a meme. The booing of Dominik Mysterio has reached such godlike levels of meme that he got booed at his own wedding.
Thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you everyone again for coming out.
Surely some fans truly despise Dom, but the majority of crowds, I think, are booing Dom so loudly because it's become the thing to do. It is expected. It is fun. And Dom himself seems to love it. I think fans fundamentally love Dom Mysterio deep down, but to cheer him would break his story so greatly that the fun would be destroyed. This is why I call Dom's booing a meme, because not booing Dom removes the in-group enjoyment of the WWE as a whole. There is only one single person who gets drowned out by boos in all of wrestling, and that's Dirty Dom. To remove that aspect of Dom's fan-to-wrestler engagement would actually leave a massive void in WWE as a whole. WWE always needs a top heel. WWE is actually a very temperamental ecosystem with an indescribable amount of moving parts. When one thing changes or fans react counter to what the writers intended, everything else shifts too. WWE hasn't had such a booed heel in some time. Likewise, WWE hasn't had such a fun heel in some time either. Both aspects of Dominik Mysterio's game go hand in hand. Both are essential to his success. I like to use this meme word as an example in my arguments. Based. What does based mean? You could ask 100 people, and they all might give a different answer. When someone says, "That's based," what do they mean? Regardless of the origin of based, it has evolved from its start point to whatever it means today. Sometimes it means cool, sometimes it means agreement, but with internet irony. The level of internet irony often needed to understand memes is what I mean when I say in-group. The in-group gets it, the out-group doesn't. So, when considering Dom's booing, it's kind of grown into its own animal. Someone may ask, why are they booing Dom so loudly? Someone might simply answer, because that's what we do. Like singing along with Seth Rollins' theme song or screaming, "Whoa," during Cody's entrance. It's just what we, as wrestling fans, do. At the end of the day, we should be thankful that Dominik Mysterio himself is part of the internet age. He gets the meme. He plays into the meme. Think back to the relatively recent Kurt Angle staring meme. At first, Kurt thought he was being made fun of, but he wasn't. That's not what memes are. Memes aren't meant to poke fun at their subjects. They're meant to express relatable emotions and experiences as immediately and as virally as possible. Because Kurt is from an older generation, he does not inherently understand memes. Because Dom is only 26 years old, he understands memes completely, adds to his meme, makes new memes, and doesn't take it to heart. Will Dom ever be a top guy? My answer is this: maybe. It depends on multiple factors. Will Dom ever mend his relationship with Rey? If so, it may be easier for him to get an underdog push. Dominik's physique and initial babyface persona cast him as an underdog. Traditionally, WWE World Champions tend to be physically imposing figures like Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. There have been exceptions, like Daniel Bryan, whose underdog narrative resonated deeply with fans. Could Dominik follow a similar path, overcoming his physical limitations through sheer determination? Or will a scenario arise where fans push Dom to the main event scene while still being a heel? It's possible. Regardless, I believe Dom will approach a world title challenge as the underdog archetypal character. History shows that even dominant champions eventually get dethroned. If and when that happens, will Dominik be positioned as a viable contender? Additionally, the rise of NXT superstars like Braun Breaker and Trick Williams could create an influx of fresh challengers, potentially impacting Dominik's future. As of today, Dominik Mysterio's journey to a world title remains shrouded in uncertainty. His lineage provides a foundation, but his character development, audience reaction, and the ever-evolving WWE landscape will all play a role in determining his ultimate destiny. One thing's for sure. Dominik Mysterio's career is far from over. Whether he ascends to world title glory or carves his own unique path, his journey promises to be captivating.